Hey, what's going on, guys? The Heart Pirates TCG here, and I'm bringing you the regionals deck lists of all the top cut, and we're gonna go over it and talk about the meta and what we can take from it. And I got this list from my Discord, and my Discord got it from Orange Samurai D. He's on Twitter, he's on Facebook, he's on YouTube. So you guys want to check him out? That'd be great. He really does a lot for the community. Like, his deck lists are always on time. Like, he is the news, like, to be honest with you. So big shout out to Orange Samurai D. So this is actually first place. We have Justin Dizazo. I'm not going to say the names after this just in case I mispronounce them, but Justin Dizazo. So he's playing 4 Law, obviously. So he's playing 4 Restand Law, which I've always been a big proponent of. If you guys ever watch my streams, I was playing like the Supernova Restand version. Like, I was playing, but in my list I was playing Luffy instead of a whole bunch of Zorros. So and not as many jet pistols. So then he's playing 2 of the film Zorro, just I guess as a 6k swing into the Whitebeard matchup, which didn't really see a whole lot of representation from what I saw. Then you had 2 Rush Zorro, you had 1 starter deck Zorro, Dawn 1, he gains 1,000, so he's very Dawn efficient, he's always swinging at 7 essentially. Then he's playing 4 Vista, which is huge into the Zorro matchup, which is I'm sure why he played it. 3 Brooks, 4 Dodons, 2 Jet Pistol, 2 Radical Beam. I've always been a fan of Radical Beam. I like it in higher quantities. Like 2, I feel like you don't see it enough, so I always like it at 3. But obviously he saw massive success and won, the whole thing, so good for him. And then we had 4 Bonnie, 3 Beige, 4 Nami, 4 Otama, 4 Chopper, and 3 Makino. So he's playing very heavy into the Dodon engine. So Dodon has, looks like 19 cards to search, and then Bonnie has a ton, not as many actually. So wait, hold on. So yeah, Bonnie has the same amount, maybe a little bit more actually, because Jet Pistol's a Supernova. So yeah, pretty solid list right there. No, it's not a whole lot different than other people are playing, except for playing a little bit more of the Restand Law, or a few more Restand Laws. So we'll move on to second place, I believe this is. Yeah, so Jimmy, actually I'm not gonna say the name, but anyway, second place we got 4 Nami, 4 Chopper, 3 Makino, 4 Dodon, 3 Brook. Oh my god, this is like the same exact list. 3 Brook, 2 Zorro, Rush Zorro, 1 starter deck Zorro, 4 Vista. Now he is playing 2 X-Drakes as opposed to the Jet Pistol, it looks like. Or no, he's playing 2 X-Drakes instead of something else, which I do like X-Drake, especially because there's probably a lot of Doflamingo in this format, in this tournament, just because a lot of people thought Zorro and Whitebeard would be very relevant. So X-Drake is good. I like X-Drake. And then he's playing 4 Blocker Law, 4 Restand Law, 3 Beige, 4 Bonnie, 2 Jet Pistol, 2 Rad Beam, and 4 Otama. So pretty much the exact same list, except for just a little bit different. He's playing the X-Drakes. Let's move on to third place here, and it is a Whitebeard. And this one is the Boat Beard. Actually, it's like the little hybrid version, actually. So I think the hybrid version, when it plays very well, like when it draws on curve and it's functioning on all cylinders, it is by far the best. The problem is it's a bit inconsistent, just a bit. So let's go over this deck list. This is third place. We have 3 Newgate, which is odd because a lot of people are playing 4. So 3 Newgate, 4 Ace, 4 Marco, 2 Vista, 4 Radical Beam, 4 Guard Point, 4 Moby Dick, 4 Kingdu, 4 Atmos, 4 Nami, 2 Brook, 4 Jozu, 3 Sanji, and 4 Luffy. So how many 2k counters are we playing here? We got 7, 11, 13 2k counters, and then you got 8 events that are +3 to +4. So solid list right there. The point of this deck is it can have an early game and it can have a late game too, and it can kind of grind with you. Whereas a lot of the boat versions, like they only play to basically kill you in 1 turn or like 2 turns essentially. This one can actually grind with you with the aces and then with the Kingdoos and Atmos. Like it's actually pretty solid, especially playing the Sanji and utilizing your extra Dawn. I think it's pretty solid. So fourth place, we have a Luffy now, guys. I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this one, but I've already said that I think Luffy is really good. I don't think Luffy is really good. I think it's the worst of the red decks, but it's still a red deck, which means it's good. You know, I don't think it's still, I still do not think it is tier 1 still, but I do think it can contend, especially with the skilled pilot. So that's what I've said. If I've said anything different, I was either not articulating what I was trying to say, or I don't know. But that's what I've always said. I've always thought Luffy in set 2 was the worst of the red decks. I still think it is, but I did come around to it in set 1. I thought set 1 Zorro was better until Luffy I realized Luffy was better. Luffy was better into the mirror. Luffy was better at grinding into Kid. Like, it was just better overall. So I was wrong about Luffy in OPO 1, and I'm admitting my mistake. But OPO 2, I still don't think he's as good as people are saying he is. So for Gordon, the film Gordon, which is minus 3,000 power, I think it's really good, especially because he's playing the Mass Deuce. He's playing Nico, Robin, and Vista, as well as Jet Pistols and the Newgate. So pretty much, it can wipe characters of essentially, you know, 3,000 or 6,000 or less. So if you especially match that with the Otama. So 4 Gordon, 4 Makino, 4 Otama, 4 Nami, 4 Newgate, 4 Dodon, and then 4 Mass Deuce is, I think, really cool. So basically, Mass Deuce can attack one of your opponent's non-rested characters, like active characters. And he's also a 2k counter, which is really cool. So pair that with Gordon, like you can really start swinging very, very. You can basically just do a lot of annoying stuff with the Gordon with the Mass Deuce, which I think is really cool. 4 Robin as well, which is really cool into the Gordon. Like I said, you can just start popping things. And then you got 4 Vista, 3 Kingdu, 2 Rush Luffy, 2 Radical Beam, 1 Red Hawk for the surprise and maybe even the trigger, and then 2 Jet Pistol, 4 Zorro. So solid. I actually think this list is really good. I love this list a lot. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do. There's some big bodies. There's some defense. He's not playing any choppers, but like the Radical Beams can be defensive. And then he has the events, and he has like enough cards to control the board and enough 2k counters where I actually think this is a very solid list. So shout out to this guy Nico right here too for making this. So then we're gonna move on to, this is 5th place right here. We're gonna move on to the top 8 just in general and just give you our thoughts. This is actually the only green, solid green, mono green leader color or leader, I guess, in top 8, and the only non-red in top 8, which is just crazy, right? So he's playing the Protect the Castle Kid with a little bit of spice to it. So he's playing 4 Kid, he's playing 4 Beige, he's playing 3 Yamato. Yamato's an interesting choice because I can see it can be really good into Zorro, especially because they don't play like any Zorro doesn't play any what is it called, blockers most of the time. If they do, it's very few and far in between. So you can take 2 of their life without them getting the resources to hand, and then just slow down their momentum. So I think Yamato was a really good play here. Then he's got 4 Punk Gibson. This is obviously most likely for the trigger, and then the being able to rest, like let's say a blocker, or you know, another potential attacker for Zorro, or maybe even Whitebeard, because they have the Atmoses and everything too, and the Marcos. So great. I think Punk Gibson's great, especially resting like Borsellino too, if you're playing in the black. 4 Raizo. Raizo is the draw one, and it just helps the whole engine go. Plus you can play him off of Kid. I think Raizo is really strong in Kid. I don't think he's that good in Kinemon though. But Kid, I definitely love Raizo. 4 Apu, 4 Nekomamushi, which is a lot. A lot of people were not playing Nekomamushi at all. I like it. I like this one a lot. I like Nekomamushi. I think it's great into grinding, especially getting rid of blockers and just resting like Okikus and things like that, just to get control back from Kinemon, because Kinemon definitely has a better early game, right? So then you're playing 3 Sachi with no penguins. Sachi looks like it's just because he's not able to be Vista'd or Robin'd or New-gated. So that's a good choice right there. I like the Sachi. Then he's playing 4 Izo, he's playing 4 Bonnie, 4 Killer of the blocker Killer. He's playing 4 Law, 3 Momo, and 1 Basil Hawkins, most likely for the mirror, and just overall against blue, it just destroys it. So the only person to play Kid, or to play a non-red leader in top 8. Good job, buddy. Good job. Then we got another one. We got our Newgate here. Sorry, I'm drinking my protein shake. So we got 4 Newgate, which is standard. 4 Rush Luffy. So he's playing the Strawbeard version, obviously. I think 4 is a lot. I think 4 might be a little bit too much if you ask me. But 4 Rush Luffy, 4 2K counter Luffy, 4 drop Luffy. A lot of Luffys here. You're playing 4 Sanji, 3 Vista, 4 Makino, 4 Otama, 4 Nami, and then you got 4 Frankie, 3 Ace, 4 Radical Beam, and 4 Kingdu. So he's not playing a single guard point, which I think is a bit odd, don't you guys think? Very aggressive deck too. I mean, look at this. I mean, he's playing like 4 Luffy, 3 Ace is just crazy. I mean, it's great board control, don't get me wrong, but that's a lot of like rush, beat your face down type for a deck. So I think the deck is slightly too aggressive in my opinion, but he got 6, so that's pretty good. It's very good, and good job to you, buddy. And then we got 7th place. We got Zorro, 4 Zorro, 1 Luffy, 4 Newgate, 2 Red Hawks. A lot of people are playing the Red Hawks, man. It's so good into the mirror too. 4 Jet Pistol, 4 Vista, 4 Dodon, Double Brook, 2 Magra, 4 Sunny Kun, 4 Otama, 4 Nami, 4 Makino, 4 Gordon, and 3 Robin. I think so. I was in my version of Zorro, I was only playing 2 Gordon, but I do like the 4 Gordon. I might actually switch to that. I think it's really cool. And the Red Hawk too. Like, I think Red Hawk is it's hard to. I mean, you really can't play around it in the mirror too. I mean, the deck's so aggressive. So I think the Red Hawk is really cool. It can even KO a Robin too, which is dope, especially if they're not expecting it. So nice Red Hawk. The trigger is fantastic too. It wins games. Let's move on to 8th place, and then we'll just talk about everything after that. Another Newgate, 3 Newgate, 4 Nami, 4 Brook, 4 Sanji, 3 Robin, 2 2K counter Luffy, 3 Rush Zorro, or I'm sorry, Rush Luffy, 4 Atmos, 4 Marco, 3 Jozu, 3 Kingdu, 3 Ace, 4 Radical Beam, guard point, or 3 guard point, and 3 Moby Dick. So this is like the more balanced version that I was talking about, where you play a little bit less Luffy, a little bit less like attackers overall, but you're able to squeeze that guard point in, which is huge, dude. It's just huge. I love, like, guard point is really, really, really powerful, because everyone always tries to swing at 8, but then, you know, they can't swing at 8 because you have guard points, and they can't swing at 9 either because you have radical beam. So they like have to swing at 10 every single time to get counters out of your hand. Like, it's actually really good. So if you're not playing guard point, I feel like you're just missing a little bit. But guys, the format right now is in need of a big switch up. I mean, 7 out of these 8 decks. Why did I sound like that? That was like some, I don't even know. Like, that was like some like Texas type thing right there. 7 out of these 8 decks were red, whether it be, you know, red green or just red pure. And I think that's a big problem. I think OPO3 and OPO4 really need to just find a way. I don't know if they're gonna put promo cards in there that are just gonna make these other decks just more like competitive, like especially blue. But the red is too good. It's been too good for 2 formats in a row, and it looks like it's going to be really good in the next format too. Like, I don't understand how they just keep making red this good. So yeah, I think the meta definitely needs a switch up, a change up. Even green, like, green is a really strong deck, and it's just like, it's not even like showing that many results compared to these red decks. I mean, there's like, I know you see some Kinemons here and there, and, you know, a Kid here and there, but I mean, the reason that Law is popular is because the red cards are so good, like mixed with the green. Obviously, those are the 2 most supported colors. So red, green, Law, and then just pure red are just the best like decks. So something needs to definitely switch to make the formats in the future just more fun and more competitive. because right now, if you're playing a deck other than red or red green or sometimes green, it's going to be a rough time for you. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to join our Discord, it's going to be in the link below. Make sure to subscribe, like the video for the algorithm, and then I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.